Blitz was once the voice of Dota.
This faceless void though in the back. He's now going to go for all chicken. BKB activated. And now he's going to run himself away. Universe sets these backlines. EG might be able to do this. Have they just done it? That was a hold of a lifetime.
But he gave everything up for a chance to taste glory.
He's going to be coaching Liquid, and as a result, he is still contracted to some events, but Blitz and I will not be casting for the majority of the season this year.
I feel pretty strongly that you can't say all this bullshit about being family and like how close you are if you're not going to stick with them when times are tough as well.
And despite facing loss after loss, he refused to give up until he finally had the trophy he'd been chasing his entire career.
33, again, so tanky.
He's so
Toss
tanky.
back in with the Dispose, but again, they're fully focusing him with the Terrorize. It's out onto the four of them. He's out!
Liquid are doing it!
To the edge of Liquid! Oh, absolutely doing it! GG is cold! Team Liquid do it! Liquid! 3-0 against Gaming Gladiators here!
I feel like they took a chance on a guy who's never coached a winning team before. We had so many losses. We had 5 years without winning anything. We could have disbanded like 20 different times like people told us to.
Before we get into today's video, I wanted to remind you guys to check out our epic documentary on the most iconic moments in League of Legends history. With Worlds 2024 finally underway, we couldn't think of a better time to look back on more than a decade of competitive League. And in this mammoth video, we're reflecting on incidents and plays that have defined the game, from its humble beginnings all the way up to today. We're incredibly proud of the work that went into this video, but making it wouldn't have been possible without our sponsor, Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians, these are things people would likely say about drivers who switch their insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save, and make sure to watch the full documentary on our YouTube channel using the link below. Now, let's get back into today's video.
So to understand how Liquid won TI in 2024, we first have to go back, way back, to the origins of their coach and GM, William Blitz Lee. Appropriately, for someone whose name means lightning in German, Blitz became one of the foremost Storm Spirit players in the scene, and his first submission to TeamLiquid.net in 2013 was a tutorial on the hero.
The way that it was like a little bit janky. Like he had some really weird mechanics where he didn't have like the zip and all that jazz, but I don't know, I just like the hero so much. Like I felt like there was a lot of freedom to it.
Back in the early days of Dota 2 though, Blitz made the fateful choice to leave the US to play in Korea.
I was homeless for like, I don't know, a week, maybe. It wasn't super long, but it wasn't great. And then Purge and the boys obviously came and kind of saved my life. Back then I probably wasn't the best teammate. I had a lot of anger issues and I thought the world revolved around me, and that experience really helped me understand that it didn't.
Unfortunately, the plan didn't work. His first team disbanded, and despite winning some major Korean events with his second team, Zephyr, Blitz's competitive dreams faded quickly.
Looks like they're going to ban out some of the, well, at least one Blitz hero. At least they know enough. I'm surprised Blitz, like being the captain and the drafter here, didn't like automatically pick up the Storm Spirit. Because that's what he's done in the past. He's just like, that's my hero.
Blitz was forced to decide how he wanted to remain a part of Dota 2, and he turned to commentary. He had dabbled in casting before, but Blitz worked as a commentator during the International 4 and found that he enjoyed it enough to do it full-time in 2015 with Join Dota. For many Dota 2 fans, the caster desk was where Blitz had previously made the greatest impact.
Did Cap win like a fan contest or something? Did he have like some sort of Make-A-Wish thing where he wanted to be a relevant caster for a week?
He slept with Hotbit. That's how he got the ESL Grand Finals.
I don't even think that would do it. It was probably blackmail. It had to be.
No, you don't know how good Cap is.
I don't know who it's for actually. Blitz, do you know who it's for?
I mean, we'll cast it normally, and hopefully the guy who paid for it, we don't just flame relentlessly.
But Blitz was drawn back into the game, this time as a coach. He got his first taste of coaching in 2016 when he was approached by Team Liquid's captain, Kuroki.
He asked me some questions, and then all of a sudden he's like, "You should coach." And I was like, "Okay." And I thought he was kind of messing with me, and I was like, "What team?" And he's like, "My team." And I was like, "All right, well, that sounds kind of interesting." And I've always wanted to be further involved in competitive things.
But despite a TI top 8 and a win at Dream League Season 6, Blitz returned to casting, where he again covered the biggest events in the game.
Break out short, he dives. KB's up and down the corners. He plays against the score. He dives to the infinite.
Ultimately, though, coaching pulled Blitz back in.
I think originally I helped negotiate the Liquid deal for the guys, just as a friendship thing for Aiden. I think I watched like 1 or 2 scrims, kind of gave some thoughts, just, you know, for fun, because I like talking about Dota. And then I think later that night, we're in the courtyard of our place that we're staying at, the hotel, and Insania and Quakefa kind of ambushed me, and they're like, would you like to coach?
Blitz returned to Liquid, but the team was very different from the one he'd left. Liquid won TI in 2017, shortly after Blitz departed, but that legendary roster left the organization in September of 2019. In their place was Alliance's former lineup, its core built around the Swedish trio of Mike, Boxy, and Insania. They missed TI in 2018 while getting shut out at the big events, and they had a notoriously tragic moment at TI9 when Insania tried to ban Gyrocopter, but ended up picking him.
You don't really think about mistakes happening in the draft, but this is one of the biggest mistakes that has ever happened at a TI.
So I started looking at the papers, I forget about the timer, and then I'm like, all right, you're right, we should ban the gyro. And I move my mouse, pull it over to gyro, don't look at the timer, and just click it. And right as that happens, the clock takes over.
The blunder resulted in their elimination and followed the roster even into their Liquid years. What should be clear by now is that success was far from guaranteed for Blitz and his new squad.
I know I can't really speak for everyone here, but if this isn't like our philosophy as a team, then I would rather just not coach. I feel pretty strongly that you can't say all this bullshit about being family and like how close you are if you're not going to stick with them when times are tough as well.
But it was important not to let those feelings cloud what actually happens in-game. And years later, Insania would credit Blitz for keeping things in perspective.
Having a clear mind, not being emotional from playing the games and seeing these things. Like for William, I think that is 100% true.
Okay.
And I think like for other people, it is less true.
I want you to feel as though you always have friends here, all that jazz. At the same time, when we do work, we're colleagues. And I really like that hard separation.
Liquid's roster had potential, but it also had serious expectations to meet. And the lineup saw their first positive result at ESL 1 Germany 2020. While it was online, the assembled competition and prize pool gave it that big event billing even if it wasn't a true LAN. But that's where Team Liquid's lineup finally did what they struggled to do with Alliance. They won the thing.
Features are going to be able to get it. Features able to jump in and find it. Quakefa, he's in, on to General. General goes down the leash. He's got the Feature, they've got the dual control. As again, they're in with the taunt. Omni slash out. Feature set for 80 seconds.
He's gone.
He's out of the game. Roger is as well. Double kill for Insanius. He's cleaning up with the dark portrait. And there it is. GG is called. Liquid will take this game. And with that, the series, the championship title, it's theirs.
No, for us, we see you guys play a lot, and you never do really terrible. But you also have never, like, under the Team Liquid banner, you've not yet taken a first place. So what for you is like the big difference that made this tournament the one where you basically beat everybody?
We realized that, you know, we've been playing with a lot of fear, I think. A lot of times in the past, we played with the fear of losing, but we finally overcame that hump and we just decided to play to win.
If only it was that simple. Because for the next 46 months, this team would not win a single Tier 1 event. In 2021, after failing to qualify for TI, Blitz and Liquid were forced to watch from the sidelines as Team Spirit lifted the Aegis.
You see what Spirit does and what they do well and how they enable their players and stuff like that and how they stuck together and how they grinded it out. And so, of course, you're going to gain a lot of ideas because Dota is like, things don't work until somebody shows you that they can work.
Many organizations would drop their Dota rosters after missing out on TI. But Liquid held on.
I was really apologetic. I'm like, I scammed you, essentially. I felt so bad, you know, because I brought him this roster, Victor, this roster. I put my name on it and everything, and it just didn't work out. And he couldn't have been more supportive. He essentially told me, like, listen, we don't even have to make changes. If you really believe in this, like, 5-man squad, like, we'll run it with you till the end.
The organization believed in their players. And so in 2022, after making TI through the last chance qualifier, Liquid played like they had nothing to lose. They looked like a totally different team.
The hit smoke up now. Sacred goes for it. Immediately the black hole. They're just going to focus all in onto Mickey. And it looks like maybe they got him down to Blitz. All over the side. Swatch will go over the Rolling Thunder on through them. Mickey surviving through it.
Survive, blows up Science, but do they have any more? The Ancient is falling, and with that, Secret are going to eliminate Liquid.
Third place and $1.7 million US. It was their best performance at a big event all year, and it wasn't a bad haul for a team that had barely qualified. Liquid was right not to bail on them. This roster had potential. It was just about figuring it all out. And so Liquid added Nisha, a Polish player who had been to the podium at TI for the past 2 years as part of Team Secret.
I think we might have been the only team to approach him. So it was kind of, we were the only horse in the running, I guess. No pun intended.
And almost immediately, Tier 1 events seemed to be within reach.
I think my team is just really, really good right now. I feel like everybody is playing top tier Dota. I think our lanes are just going really well. Like, I think I have the 5 best players in the world.
And yet, over and over, the best that Liquid could do was second.
Our team, to their credit, didn't really even need me. I think they were just like, we are going to get this done. And so, it felt like every loss was just like a little step we took. And yeah, it was just like a lesson learned along the way. And I felt like as long as we didn't mentally quit and we weren't just like, oh, another finals, everyone says we're going to lose, so I guess we lost. It never felt like that going into a single finals.
Right as they hit their stride, Liquid found that it was the same team barring their path at nearly every opportunity.
And now he's got a major championship to hang on that fiery belt. Gaming Gladiators will 3-0 Team Liquid.
Gaming Gladiators had also outperformed expectations at TI 2022, and after some changes, they became a dominant force in Dota the next year. They won the Lima Major, the Berlin Major, and the Bali Major, 3 in a row to cement themselves as the clear favorites for TI. But neither team would win TI. It was actually Team Spirit repeating their win from 2021 with a somewhat different roster. Looking back, 2023 might have been a very different story if not for the Gaming Gladiators. At the same time though, Liquid were still looking for their first championship at a big event. It was clear that the win was possible. It just wasn't guaranteed. They made one more change. As Zai departed, they brought in 33, and he became the captain of the team.
But in a dream situation, like, we would have wanted with Zai, but I still saw like that we were building on something. And we were getting better and better, and we just needed a little bit more time.
Blitz's approach to coaching had always treated the roster like a family more than anything else. But 2024 had to be this roster's year. As a group, the team remained both cohesive and, frankly, pretty easy to love.
I think 5 Nishas would play their main on every position.
The problem with 5 Nishas is like 5 people would, and nobody would be saying a word, and then they would all like be pinging each other. Like,
they had a promising start. At BetBoom Dhaka Dubai, the team made second, but this time they defeated Gaming Gladiators as part of an epic lower bracket run. But they still had the second place curse, which the Gladiators helped extend at Riyadh Masters.
And they are going to demolish Liquid. Triple BKB does nothing for you when you are flat out, outgunned, outplayed. 4 dead. GG is called. The cleanest series of your life. Gaming Gladiators take it 3-0 away from Liquid.
But it was clear that in 2024, Liquid weren't making a surprise run at TI. Instead, they came into the biggest tournament of the year as one of the clear favorites. Despite being part of the group with defending TI champions Team Spirit, Liquid advanced and won their seeding match, giving them a direct berth into the upper bracket quarterfinals. Liquid just needed a series win to make it to the big stage at the Royal Arena, and with a sub 20-minute drubbing of extreme gaming, they seemed excited to get on with it.
Q trying to see if they can get this finish onto XXS2. Everybody is surviving. XXS has gone 17-1. There's the hookshot connection. Devastation of the highest degree as Team Liquid for the 3rd year in a row is going to be going to the International.
First, they faced Cloud9, who had recently returned to Dota 2 by signing a CIS region team. 33, added at the beginning of the year, was a critical part of the series.
Why are even up in time to make this play? Is it even capable for Watson to be able to stop any of this? Does he even have the damage to kill these heroes fast enough? Their throne is under assault. He lost another hero, 2 versus 5 now, and hit the stop. Got the Doom. No way, Lincoln's able to block it, but it doesn't matter. The throne is exposed, and Liquid will take the 2-0.
Liquid's swift win over C9 set up a high-stakes rematch. If Liquid wanted to go further at TI, they would have to exercise their demons. They would have to prove that they were better than Game and Gladiators to hoist the Aegis.
The Doom onto Quinn. He tries to get the high ground. Whirlwind with the overgrowth combination, just shredding these heroes on Game and Gladiator's side. Quinn is going to be next, but he was doomed at the beginning of the fight. They're going to buy back in mass. Not able to get the top of the overgrowth onto 2. Do they have the damage to finish these heroes off? Looks like the Marana is dead. GG is called. Liquid take game number 1.
Quinn trying to block damage, but it's not going to happen. Muerta's gone. Ace does not have what it takes to take down the rest of Liquid. They are way too strong. They're dropping so quickly. Tier 4s are gone. They're not even going to get to respond. Team Liquid closing this one out. GG.
Liquid dropped Gaimin down to the lower brackets, but Liquid knew that they'd be back.
You have like 1 hour to go from like super hyped up from just like getting top 2 to like needing to fully reset and playing finals. And I completely know what Quinn means, and it's really tough. I think like your energy levels are just like a little bit all over the place.
And Gaimin came back with a vengeance. It was exactly what the fans deserved. The 2 perennial finalists battling it out with the winner inscribing their name in Dota history.
They still got 30 seconds to keep the push going.
They know that they can get so much done
They
here.
call it.
Oh, they do! GG is called Liquid. I mean, what a phenomenal game 1. Ace looking for the lead, but he gets caught immediately by the Avalanche. Bounces away with the Ogre Seal turn. The Stampede's there to get back, but the Tier 4s are falling. Liquid, they're onto the edge. Getting Gladiators to go. Anything to stop this. They do not. GG's gonna be called. Liquid take game 2.
Duracho now could be in trouble himself.
He's got the hook shot. They're ready to get him with the catch. They drop down the cogs. They manage to trap Duracho. He's gone. Quinn jumps in with the Rolling Thunder, looking for kills in return here. They've got the catch with the Terrorize. Moxie follow up beautifully there. Onto the 3 of them. The Fear pushes back Quinn. They take down the Pango. They turn towards Duracho. The Soul Assumption burst, bringing him low. Celery comes in with the rebound to try and get Duracho out of this one. Celery tries to stand his ground, fight back, but he will fall. Ace to go down as well under the Tier 2. They cannot defend. I mean, Gladiators, it's just 3 against the world now. The Tier 4's going down. Liquid, have they done it here? The coil onto the 2 of them as Liquid are getting the space to focus down the Ancient. Jump forward to one Nisha, but the auras are out.
Down goes Duracho.
He's out. Liquid
are doing it.
To the Ancient. Liquid are absolutely doing it. GG is called. Team Liquid.
Unbelievable.
This Liquid roster, formed years ago around Boxy, Insania, and Mike, was good enough, and Blitz's philosophy had helped them reach this goal. It also set a lot of firsts. It was the first time an organization won TI a second time with no returning players from the first. The roster was the oldest to win. Insania had joined at age 25 and won TI with Liquid at age 30. And of course, it was a first for Blitz, who had walked away from casting envisioning a moment just like this.
I have watched your journey through many, many different rosters, and I noticed that every single time you treat it like a family. This is as much a victory for you as it is for them. You sacrifice yourself for your team, and now it's codified, my man. You are a champion.
I feel like they took a chance on a guy who's never coached a winning team before. We had so many losses. We had 5 years without winning anything. We could have disbanded like 20 different times like people told us to.
In the old days, a roster that completely missed TI was soon to be unemployed. Liquid and Blitz tried something different.
This entire process just reinforced my belief that, you know, it's really cheesy, but like love wins out. I really love my guys and the team and the people around me, and they had so much faith in me and the guys, and I had so much faith in them. And I don't know, it's like, it's a beautiful hallmark moment to end it on, especially trying to or getting to win a TI like that in front of our friends and family.
Liquid stood by their roster and helped them achieve their dreams. And for Blitz, it was finally proof that his decision to walk away from casting had been the right one. But League has this other problem, which is just like, I literally, when I write reports now on my top laner who goes 0-13, like, Riot, you realize if my top laner goes 0-13 and I lose, this is a problem on your end. This is not a problem on my end.